I want y'all to listen to this audio right quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and dive more into this story.
You're on my property with a gun in your hand, threatening to shoot me because I'm picking up trash. I hope that camera's on. Shoot me? I don't have a weapon. This is a bucket. This is a clip. I'm not sitting down. You can't make me.
He's picking up trash.
He's got a gun. 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 Just relax. What do you mean? This is my property. This is my house. I live here.
Down and drop it.
I'm on duty doing my work and my job. When this officer comes over here, I give him my stuff. Your
That's not
hand.
you because you're not listening.
You have a gun in your hand. I don't have a
Drop the
weapon.
weapon. Drop it. Focus on me. Just
What are you
focus on me.
doing?
Focus
No,
on
what do you mean? Focus on you. There's six of
Just
you.
relax.
Just drop
Put
it.
that object
This is my
down.
property.
We just
We're not
want to
going
talk.
anywhere.
Dude, there's 6 cops. Zayd has a clamp in his hand thing.
This is my boy video right here. He lives here.
I live here. I'm the resident of this property. I'm picking up garbage from my dorm. I go to school here. I go to school here. I will not sit down. I refuse to sit down
Would you please
until
put
you
that
guys put your weapons away.
Okay, so y'all just heard that audio, and many of you have been sending me emails and tagging me in the articles and various things about this video right here. So what you just heard is this black man who I don't think they've identified as of yet, was picking up trash in front of his home when he all of a sudden had the cops come up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a white neighbor that called them, because they said this happened in Boulder, Colorado. So I'm almost certain it was probably a white neighbor that saw him, who probably didn't like him, and probably said, "Oh, this nigger here, let's find a way to get him up out of here," and decided, we're going to ruin his day. Called the cops on him, and he's just picking up trash at his home where he lives and pay bills. And I think the person recording it may have been a neighbor or someone, maybe like a roommate that lived with him, because the person recording, if you can see from this view, was like right there. They like looks like they were inside the house, maybe recording from a window. And all of a sudden the cops come and they like have their weapons drawn. And when I'm looking at the imagery and I'm looking at the the police cars that's surrounding it, you would think that this guy is holding up someone hostage, or he's about to commit a terroristic act, the way that they was rolling up on him, all because he was picking up trash. One thing I will give the brother though is he stood his ground. Okay, he knew what risk came with what he was doing, but he stood his ground. He did not back down from them. He said, "I'm picking up trash." He couldn't make it more clear as day that that's what he was doing. He said, "I'm on my property," which he couldn't make it more clear as day as he did in that video. And they kept saying, "Drop your weapon," and everything like that. The guy had a bucket and one of those things that you use, that people use, that pick up trash on the side of the road, that little clamper, and they put it in the bucket. That's all he had in his hand. What part of that is a weapon? A bucket and that little trash clamp thing. What was he going to do? Like, they act like he was going to charge at them with that thing and win whatever gunfight they brought towards him. That's literally the equivalent of bringing a knife to a gunfight. He was just minding his business, and all of a sudden these cops roll up on him in front of his house. But this is not surprising, nor is it shocking, because stuff like this happens to black folks all the time. That's why whenever white folks butt their little noses into our business when it comes to stuff like this, like saying, "Oh, well, if he would have just complied, oh, if he would have showed his ID and things of that nature, this wouldn't have happened." Listen, we do not live in the same goddamn world. See, they always love to say we need to comply and do this and that and the third, and they don't even do the same damn thing. I be seeing so many videos of them getting into physical confrontations and altercations with the cops over the little and smallest of shit. I will still never forget when that white guy got into it with that cop, and then all of a sudden he ran around and jumped inside the police cruiser and drove off in the cop's car. Didn't get shot or tased one time. However, on the flip side, this guy is extremely lucky because when I'm looking at the video, I'm looking like they're going to shoot this guy, but they didn't. And after all of this, back and forth between the two, they finally determined that he lived there. Now they have gone and opened up an investigation because the video has since the posting has gone viral. And the only reason they opened up an investigation is because the video did go viral, and they have to do it because it's procedure. I don't expect anything to happen to the cops that were involved with this. Maybe he needs to do his own little lawsuit outside of the parameters of whatever it is that they're coming up with. Because they're not going to do nothing with that damn investigation. They're just doing it because it's protocol. They're not going to reprimand any of the officers. I won't be surprised if they do not even put them on administrative leave. But this is a sad reality, and unfortunate one that us as black people have to go through. The man was just merely picking up trash on his own property because he wanted to make sure that his stuff was clean. And he said he was about to go to work. So I don't know if him picking up trash on his property was his own personal thing, or maybe it's a part of his employment. And he said, I'm going to start with my lawn first and keep going forward. And I was reading through the comments, and someone actually made a good point. They was like, since when is it against the law to pick up trash? Even if it wasn't his property, he could have done it. I'm sure many people would not have gotten offended if some random person was picking up trash on their lawn and they probably didn't even know who the person was. Hey, that's less work that person who lives there has to do. But because he's black and he probably lives in a predominantly white neighborhood, he's automatically suspicious. And in Boulder, Colorado, probably damn near every neighborhood there is lily white. Now, like I said, I don't know who the guy's name is. We don't know. But I will say this guy stood firmly on his square. He did not back down. His tone never changed. It probably scared the shit out of him too, because they thought that they were messing with a weak one, but they got the right one that day. They would probably also expect them to pop off so they could have a reason to shoot him, but he didn't. He didn't charge at him either. If you look at the video, he stood there and he's like literally walking back and forth. And the only thing that's elevated is his tone of voice, which he had every right to use because he's frustrated. Like, he can't even do what he's meant to do without being harassed. And I noticed the guy has a jacket on, so it was probably chilly outside. I wouldn't want to be harassed out there and it's cold, and I'm trying to do what I need to do so I can get back in the house and be warm. And you're fucking up the flow. If this is his employment or, a part of his job, you're fucking up his money flow. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.